All right, cool kids. I decided that I was gonna do this, and I thought, you know what? I should probably video this so that people can know how to do this if they want to make their own. But it's something that you can do if you have a piece of copper sitting around or whatever. You can do this. I think this is 24 gauge, so it's pretty thin, and it's not going to be real super duper strong, but it's going to be awesome. So copper folded cuff bracelet. I already did this part where I fold it, but I wanted to share this process with you. I got big old caveman fingers, so if you're like a little person, or not a little person, but like a smaller, not a caveman person, then this might be hard for you. This thing called work hardened. So as you work with the silver, with the metal, the more you work with it, the harder it gets. It's just like the molecules of the metal tighten, I guess. I don't know. I'm not too smart. I don't know that stuff, but I know this stuff. Doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, if it's not perfect, it's better, in my opinion. Give a little bit of pizzazz to it, you know? Not too tight. I might have got a little tight right there. You don't want it too tight because you're eventually going to open this up. So now that we have this, now we're going to put some lines in it with my little chisel stamp. Boop, 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 boop. And just add some texture, some excitement, some dynamic to it. So to make it, that's what jewelry is all about, right? All right, friends, so here we're at my little tiny vise that I have. It's just big enough for what I need. So don't make fun of me because I have a small vise, guys. Don't make fun of me. I'm sensitive. So we get our little metal hammer and the chisel. And if I'm doing anything wrong or like using the wrong tools or whatever, just allow it because I only know what I know. We're gonna go all the way across. Switch it out to the other side. I like it a little closer down there. If it's too high, then it will want to fold over. So you want it kind of close. That might be a little too close, but as long as it's tight. All right, so that's what that looks like. All right, homies. This is work hardened because I put a lot of action on this seam here. So to peel it apart with my fingers is going to be very difficult. So what we're going to do is anneal it, which is we get our torch and we're going to put some fire to it. Those molecules tighten up and we put heat, and you guys remember from science class, heat makes the molecules loosen up, right? Cold, tighten up. Zzz, brrr, that's cold. You tighten up when you're cold. And when you're hot, you're sitting on the beach drinking a margarita, you're all like laid out and spread out, all chill, you know, because your molecules are nice and loose. That's what I think. I'm cool with it. All right, this is kind of cooling off. I didn't quench it in the water. I was taught that, and in the comments, tell me if I'm wrong about this, but to annealing, if you quench it, doesn't it make the molecules get back tight again, or a little bit more if you quench it in cold water? So I was taught to heat it and then let it naturally get back to temperature without water, without quenching. So I'm very impatient, so you can see that I'm already kind of handling this. It's still a little warm, but that's the way I roll, friends. Not the brightest, but get her done. So if you guys can see this, I'm just gonna use my big old fingers to. You can use a tool, and I often do, and you'll see that I will, but I'm gonna do as much as I can with my fingers. And this is where it's kind of nice, where if it's a little bit overlapped, you can use it. You can put your finger in there and wedge it open. If they're exactly perfect, you might need a little tool. And that's not a bad thing. I like the way these bracelets look because they look kind of rustic. And tool marks on this, I think, is really cool. I just think it just, you know, you don't want it to look like you didn't know what you're doing. But to leave a couple cool tool marks in a piece, it really shows that the handcraftedmanship of it. And I don't know if I just tell myself that because that's what I want to believe, but I think it's cool. But everyone's different. Everybody likes a different look. So I'm using this. This is my ring mandrel oak wedge, and it works really well to open this up. As a jewelry designer, and my other fellow jewelry designers out there, shout to Triana out of Grand Junction, Colorado. She's so good. She makes like this kind of style. She just is. This is kind of inspired by like looking at some of her stuff. I made this because it just, Triana's just really good at making pieces that look I don't know, she just has her own style. It's like it looks like it was made by a fairy godmother or something, I guess. She probably doesn't like that. She's like, I hate fairy godmothers. Why would you say that on camera, that my jewelry looks like fairy godmother jewelry? And I'm like, oh no, I'm sorry. Okay. Wow, that's very, very, very pronounced. A lot more pronounced than I thought it was going to be, but that looks cool. And again, because I opened it up and now it's work hardened again. So in order for me to go to the next step, I'm going to have to anneal this again. Annealing it to soften it back up. So this is annealed. And the next step we're going to do is we're going to do some folds in it. Just to get this more dimension, because that's what we do around here. All right, brothers and sisters, I'm gonna try to show you guys. I hope you guys can see this. So this is the outside of the cuff. This is the inside of the cuff. So all of our folds we want to do on the outside. I've made the mistake of doing inside before, and it just kind of ruined it. So we're gonna start with a slight angle. Or actually, we can be as dramatic as we want, I guess. But bam, fold over, and then we just hit that. And then what I do is I hit it kind of tight, and then where that is, then I fold another fold. Let's do like the opposite. And even these little bends that are in it, it's just part of the texture, you know? It's like sometimes it's just like, just don't be afraid of it, you know? And then right here, I know I want to go this way, so I'm going to hit this and hit. I'm trying to work fast so you guys don't get bored. Like, oh, okay, we've seen enough. I'm like, no, don't leave me. Do this for you. Now we're in this place where it's very work hardened because that's what we did, right? And give it the old annealage. You know what a good 80s movie is that I just was thought about when I said that? Weird Science. If you haven't seen Weird Science, you should see it. It's good. It's these two teenage kids and they make a doll, like a live person with using a doll in their new computer they just got. This is in the 80s, so computers are new, you know? And they made this girl, and it was Kelly LeBrock, and she's really sassy, and she teaches these two loser dudes, computer geeks, how to be cool. It's dope, man. You gotta watch it. Oh, shoot, I quenched it. Instead of letting it cool naturally, let's see if it's still soft. Yeah, it's pretty soft. That looks like there could probably be another little fold right here. What do you think? No, actually, you know, right there is a good spot. I should put the boom. I'll stamp the boom right there. I don't want you guys to feel left out, so I put the camera over here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Just a little light kind of taps. you're not gonna hit it hard because you want to keep these creases in there. So basically, you're just using the hammer kind of to soften them up a little bit. Very thin copper, but with all these textures in it, it makes it a lot harder for jewelry. Let's think about what's next. I think I like the idea of possibly like these lines like this, where it looks like a V, but boom, boom, like that. Here's a V, bam. Oh, that's kind of, that might only be two stamps. It'd be nice if I got 3. Like, am I that OCD that there has to be 3, or is it because it's a small V, 2 is cool? I'm not OCD, but you know, as an artist, you're like, ugh. 6, 9, 10, 11. Is 11 like a numerically like a in numerology like a powerful number? Because otherwise it would be 12. Let's go with 11. I know people like 11 when they look at the clock. It means something. I don't know what it means, but like something good, or you're on your path or something. All right, guys. So we're gonna go like this. We're gonna start right here, right in the middle. I'm angling this stamp a little bit towards me so that that's where the heavy part of the stamp is. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but why I angled a little bit towards me is so that right here, the fat part is on the outside, that fat part of the stamp, and then it looks like a starburst, or like a, not a starburst, but like a sun ray. So it's skinny on the inside and it's a little bit thicker on the outside. That's why I held this stamp with a little bit of an angle like that. This is a fun thing that I don't really often record because it's proprietary, but me stamping the boom into a boom piece. So I'm gonna go with my mallet, it's a little flatter right there, and I just look at my B. One time I put the B backwards and that ruined that. I made it work, but B, O, sideways O. If you guys seen in my other tutorials, you'll know that sideways O, it used to just say boom with all the O's looking the right direction, but one time I got a little froggy and accidentally put the O sideways, and I was like, oh man, I ruined it. And then I just put the other one straight. I put one sideways O in it, and then I looked at it and I was like, you know what, that actually looks pretty cool. I'm gonna do that all the time. So then now I do that all the time. So my logo was actually started by accident. But as an artist, you kind of learn to roll with the punches a little bit, man. Bendy, bendy. Bendy, bendy. I just looked at the camera and it looked like it kicked itself off. So you guys didn't get to see this whole process of me really hitting this. But I didn't hit it too hard, just enough. So that's it right there, friends. It's pretty sturdy, actually. It's pretty sturdy, but it's still malleable enough that if the wearer, whoever decides to be the owner of this piece, they can adjust it according to their wrist. This is made out of a 4 1/4 inch piece of copper, 24 gauge, very thin, but that's what I have, and it's easy to work with 24 because you can bend it and you can open it and close it and just anneal it. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna do a little bit of polishing just to kind of freshen it up, but I'm gonna keep so much of that patina because I think the heat patina that naturally comes with the copper, I think is pretty BA, man. So we're gonna kind of roll with that. my culture, when you talk trash about somebody when they're not there, that's just your way of showing that you miss them. That's what we tell each other anyways. Like, hey man, I heard at the party last night, I heard you guys talking shit about me. Like, well, no, we just missed you, bro. Well, if you don't want nobody to talk shit about you, you better show up. Oh.